And the father of murdered model Reeva Steenkamp, Barry Steenkamp, could give evidence for the first time in the trial of Oscar Pistorius this week. Now, on Monday, the regional trial judge Thokozile Masipa is expected to hear the pre-sentencing arguments at the North Gauteng High Court. This as Pistorius is preparing to be sentenced for a murder conviction after the Supreme Court of Appeal in December last year overturned the culpable homicide verdict. Report says that Barry Steenkamp was too unwell to attend Pistorius' trial and watch it on television from home. His wife, June Steenkamp, or rather sat in the courtroom through weeks of harrowing testimony. Reports say that Steenkamp want to take the stand later this week to testify at the sentencing hearing. State prosecutors are expected to argue for a heavy sentence. Pistorius was initially sent to jail for 5 years for culpable homicide. He spent a year behind bars before being granted parole in October last year. Now, the NPA says they will ask for a sentence of at least 15 years. Our NN7 reporter Michael Apel joins us from Pretoria, right where it is happening. Welcome, Michael. Now, can you please tell us how is the court, or rather, how is the development so far?
Very good afternoon to you, Vu, and to the viewers. Well, it literally is the quiet before the storm here outside the Pretoria High Court. We've got OB vans, we've got gazebos being set up all along Madiba Road here. This is outside of the High Court in anticipation of the week-long sentencing proceedings of Oscar Pistorius, the Blade Runner, the Paralympian that has been convicted of murder and is simply awaiting his sentence. So there are a lot of media houses that have packed the sidewalks here, and they're all busy setting up their equipment ahead of the start of sentencing proceedings tomorrow. State Prosecutor Harry Null even indicating that, if necessary, that the NPA will be willing to sit and the case will be heard even on June 16th on a public holiday.
Now, we know early on we've seen a lot of people outside with banners that Oscar Pistorius was being abused in front of people. What can you just give us more of that, of how the people are taking this so far? Because this case has been happening, or rather going for such a long time. Where to from here, since the verdict might be due tomorrow?
Well, it's obviously been a case which has polarized South Africa. You've always had three camps. You've had the pro-Pistorius camp, the anti-Pistorius camp, and then your wait-and-see people. Now, of course, he's a Paralympian of international superstardom, so he has got his supporters around the world. And those banners that you're referring to, saying that Oscar Pistorius' disability wasn't taken into account, that he was bullied by the media during his trial. Those are all banners from the international supporters for Oscar Pistorius that have been at his trial, and they were there last time he was in court in the Pretoria High Court in late December. So he has been out on bail now for roughly the last 6 months, obviously in anticipation of this dreaded day for him, I'm sure, with the prospect of facing up to 15 years in prison. So it's been a very polarizing case. You've always had those who believed Oscar Pistorius' story, that this was simply a case of mistaken identity and that he shot Reeva Steenkamp, mistaking her for an intruder. And then you have those who said that he's a cold-blooded murderer and that he must sit for the full 15 years in prison for murder.
Thank you so much, Michael. We do appreciate the information that you're giving us.